Foul language. Curse, cuss, profanity, swear words. Have you ever wondered why a cuss word is called a cuss word, or why a swear word is called a swear word, or why profanity is considered vulgar? What does vulgar even mean? Bad words go by many different names. I mean, cuss, curse, swear, vulgarity, profanity. Why are there so many different names for the same thing? You know what's interesting? Is every single one of those words meant something different when it was first invented. They've lost their meaning over time. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're first going to talk about the word swear. And that comes from the Old English word sverien, which means to take an oath. Like, I promise I'm going to go ahead and clean my room. I swear. And that word actually comes from the Gothic word sveren, which means the exact same thing. So when you say crap or damn, why is that a swear word if a swear means to take an oath? Well, the reason was, before history was even recorded, back in the old days, they would say, I swear before God. They would evoke the name of God in an oath. That ritual is still around today. Because you go into a courtroom and you have to put your hand on the Bible and say, I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. So, I still don't get why a swear word came to mean something bad. Well, how that came about, in the Bible, there's the 10 Commandments. And one of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not say the Lord's name in vain. So you can't invoke the name of God. And if you invoke the name of God, you're swearing. Well, the interesting thing is the word God isn't the real name for the Christian God. The real name is Yahweh or Jehovah. But people started saying, God this, God that, I swear to God, or God damn you. And so, even though they weren't invoking the name of God, they were still invoking God. And so God became the first swear word. So swearing used to mean going around and invoking God, and that was a bad thing. But after a while, it lost its meaning. And now swearing just means going around and saying anything that's bad. What about a curse word? Why is a curse word called a curse word? Well, have you ever heard of the expression, God damn you? Well, that's a curse. So a curse actually comes from the Old English word curse, which is a prayer that evil or harm will actually befall someone. So you are praying that God will harm someone that you know. It's kind of like, Dear God, thank you for this food and Mommy and Daddy, but I pray that that slut Maggie at school will burn in hell for eternity. Amen. That's a curse. So, basically, when you say, God damn you, it means you're asking God to condemn someone to eternal damnation. So the Old English word curse actually came from the French origination of the word curuse, which means anger. And when do you say a curse word? When you're angry. So over time, curse word lost its meaning, and now it just means something you say when you're angry. What about cuss? Well, this one's easy. Back in the late 1700s, someone got lazy and forgot to pronounce the R in the word curse, and curse turned into cuss, and it just stuck ever since. We just talked about the word cuss, now we're on to the word profanity. Profanity comes from the Latin word profanane, which means desecrated, and profanane comes from another Latin word, profanus, which means not holy. Now if you split that word up, pro means before, and phanum means temple. So the whole word means outside the temple. So it basically means things that didn't belong in the church. Kind of like, you know what, you shouldn't be bringing your dog in the church. That dog is kind of profane. Or, dude, I know you have a mistress, but seriously, bring her into the church? I mean, that is seriously profane. So profane literally means outside of the church. The word comes from the late 1400s, and it refers to things that are not holy or that aren't spiritual. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be bad. It just means that they were not holy, like beer or chicken or your hairbrush. They're not bad, but they are considered profane. So how did profane, which just meant unholy, come to mean a dirty word? Well, in one translation of the Bible, the commandment about invoking the name of God was translated, "Thou shalt not profane the name of God." So, curse words, profanity, cuss words, all of those things pretty much come from the same place. All right, now we come to vulgar. And this is actually one of the most interesting ones because it comes from the Latin word vulgaris, which means of the common people or the multitude or of the crowd. In the late 1300s, they started using the word. It was basically just a snob word. So if an aristocrat woman saw a young girl wearing a, not very expensive or a common dress, she'd say, "Oh, that's absolutely vulgar." It's kind of like us saying today, "You're white trash" or redneck. Coming up in another video, we are going to be talking about the most requested word origin of all time, the origin of the F word. So make sure you are subscribing to the video because that's coming up. Okay, if you have any word requests or subjects you want me to talk about, please make sure to leave me a note and rate my video, and I'll see you soon.
Subscribe or the blonde gets it. You don't want to make her cry, do you? Just please hit the yellow button, please.